Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to speak about the mechanics of the Etta Eyong deal. I think that a lot of us have to have a greater understanding on just how this operation is working from within, because it is official. If Barcelona do want to sign Etta Eyong, it's only going to be for 15 million euros. It's not going to be for 30, nor 25, nor 20, but 15 million euros. And I'm going to be explaining why. So back on August 2025, Levante bought Eyong from Villarreal for 3 million euros. After that, his release clause jumped from 10 million euros to 30 million euros. And this was not a regular transfer. It did involve 3 clubs and multiple hidden rules. So for example, with Cádiz, which was his first club, they still own 50% of his rights. That means that when Levante paid 3 million euros for Etta Eyong, Cádiz got 1.5 million euros. As for Villarreal, even though Villarreal sold him, they made sure they'll keep earning money in the future if Eyong becomes a star. So they added a special profit sharing rule into this deal. So here's what's going to happen if Eyong ends up moving away from Levante. And let's just say, for example, he moves to FC Barcelona. If he is sold for 3 to 7.5 million euros, anywhere within that price range, Villarreal get 80% of the profit and Levante keeps 20%. But if he's sold for 7.5 to 15 million euros, they split the profit 50-50. Now, if he's sold for over 15 million euros, Levante keeps 80% while Villarreal get 20%. And so the craziest part from all of this is there is a 15 million euro release clause, which is something that Levante is for sure going to want, because if he gets sold for 15 million euros or more, Levante are going to get 80% of that deal. Because if Levante sell him for anything cheaper than 15 million euros, they're going to have to split that through a 50-50 deal with Villarreal. So for sure, Levante are going to be aiming for a 15 million euro price tag or a little bit higher. So if any club offers that, Levante are going to have to accept that offer. There is no such thing as Levante saying no to 50 million euros or 16 million euros. They must sell the player. So if Barcelona offer 15 million euros, which is nothing, Levante will almost definitely have to sell him for sure, because you do have the 50-50 split, Levante is happy, and because there is a release clause that they must accept. So this is what Villarreal said: we'll sell him now, but if he blows up later, we still want to get paid. So this is a dream scenario if Barcelona do go for the striker. Even though his official release clause is 30 million euros, Barcelona could actually sign him for around 15 because of that special clause. And the whole timing of this operation that could happen in the future, it fits perfectly. Lewandowski's contract ends in 2026. Barcelona want a young, fast striker to replace him, and Eyong fits the profile perfectly. He has played 8 La Liga matches so far, 5 goals and 3 assists, a goal or an assist in every match. He's fast, strong, confident, and it is a striker that I believe Barcelona is missing. So let me know in the comment sections down below, would you buy Etta Eyong for 15 million euros? I think that is a great deal, and especially for his level at the age of 21 years old, Barcelona can really do something special here. So let's fast forward and let's talk about Barcelona playing in Miami, because the whole world has been talking about this. There's only going to be a total of 4 teams that are going to be playing outside of where they usually play at, and they're going to be playing outside of Europe. So in December of this year, Barcelona and Villarreal will be playing in Miami. A few months after that, in February, AC Milan and Como are going to be playing against one another in Australia. But the main talk of the town is Villarreal versus FC Barcelona happening in Miami. It's a massive change that is going to be talked about for years, and it's finally going to happen. Normally, UEFA and FIFA don't allow this because league games are supposed to be played in the club's home country. But this time, UEFA are saying, yes, just this once. Let's make it happen. However, what's crazy is the president of UEFA said that they felt very reluctant doing this. They felt a lot of regret greenlighting this game in Miami, meaning that they did not even really want to approve this whole thing, but they couldn't stop it. Keferin, who is the president of UEFA, stated this: league matches should be played at home. Doing this could upset loyal fans and mess with the competitions. So right now they are allowing it, but it's not going to become a regular thing. However, I find it a little weird to know that as soon as they greenlit this game in Miami, they immediately said that they felt reluctant, they felt like they regretted it, and I'm like, so why even do it in the first place? Why greenlight it in the first place? I feel like they only said that just for the sake of trying to put out a good positive image out there to the world, and that UEFA and FIFA are on the people's side, not on the club side. But deep down, I feel like UEFA and FIFA want to see what happens. They want to see how many people are going to show up to watch these matches between Barcelona and Villarreal and Como versus AC Milan, because they want to have a better understanding on whether how much money they could make. I do think this is an experiment for now, but they are for sure open to making this happen as a regular thing in every season and in the future. But we first have to see, what is the attendance like? How much money does it bring? Do the fans get excited? And of course, there's always that factor of UEFA UEFA, stating that, the rules are just not strong enough to block it. Like a few years ago, there was this legal case that challenged FIFA's rights to stop leagues from playing games abroad. And that case made FIFA's rules very unclear, which means that UEFA didn't have the legal power to say no. And so the laws currently, they don't clearly forbid it. And as of right now, UEFA is waiting for FIFA to rewrite those rules and to fix that gap to make sure that this quote unquote does not happen ever again. And do you guys know that games like this has been thought about for like so many years? Like I'm talking about 20, 30 years. Back in the 1990s, Italy started playing their Super Cup in places like the US, China, and now in Saudi Arabia. Spain has also taken its Super Cup to Saudi Arabia in recent years. But regular league games has never been anywhere else. They have always stayed at home because you also have the angle of saying it's a much more fairer competition having these games at home because these clubs, like for example Villarreal and FC Barcelona, are going to be facing home and away. But now we cannot say that with them playing in Miami. Villarreal were supposed to be hosting FC Barcelona in December, but now that it's going to be Miami, it's going to be neutral. And then Barcelona is going to get the advantage later in the year playing at their home. And Villarreal never got the chance to have that game at their home. So I can see the angle on why fans have always hated the idea of moving these games abroad. But we have to understand that Barcelona have been wanting to do this for a very long time. They were even down on sacrificing one of their home games to play in Miami back in 2018, and it was against Girona. But then that whole plan fell apart due to the arguments between La Liga, the Spanish FA, and the Players Union. Luckily, like when it comes to games like this, I know that it takes about like 16-15 hours to get to the US because they are coming from Spain. And I was thinking like, oh yeah, they're gonna get fatigued, they're gonna get tired. Like, how are you gonna have them take a 15-hour flight, play a 90-minute game, and then come back and play another game? But that is not going to be the case here because this is going to be considered as the last game of the year. After this, they're going to be taking a 2-week break. So it's going to be very interesting to see how all of this does play out because let me tell you guys, I know how these people work. I mean, like, I don't know them personally, but I know that when money shows up, they're going to want to keep doing it. UEFA says no for now, but let's be very real here. When you start something like this, it's going to be very hard to stop it, and especially when it actually works. Javier Tebas as well is a huge fan of this idea because he wants to grow the league internationally and compete with the Premier League in terms of money and popularity. Like, let's take a look at the numbers between the Premier League and the Spanish League in the US. The Premier League overpowers La Liga when it comes to total views in the US. The US love the Premier League. The US love the idea, and I'm speaking based off somebody who lives in the US, but they love the idea of waking up on a Sunday morning at 7 a.m., drinking a coffee, eating breakfast, and watching a match like Chelsea versus Manchester United at 7 in the morning. It's a great experience. Or at 9 a.m. and you watch Liverpool versus Manchester City. Here, the Americans, they love this. And so Javier Tebas and La Liga want to bring the exact same experience in the US. They want to be able to say, hey, look, we have a match between Athletic Club versus Atletico Madrid. And they want the Americans to know that these two teams exist. If you ask a regular American here in the US, what Spanish teams do you know? They're only going to say two teams, Barcelona and Real Madrid. They cannot name anybody else. But they want to showcase that Atletico Madrid exists, Athletic Club exists, Valencia exists, Real Sociedad exists. You ask these Americans to name a couple of Premier League teams, they're going to be saying so many teams: Liverpool, United, City, Arsenal, Newcastle. That is what La Liga and Javier Tebas does want. They want to grow their popularity here in the US by hosting some matches so these people can see that these teams exist. Villarreal are going to come over here in December for no reason. They're going to be here for one big reason, is because they want to explode their popularity. And the US is not the only country interested in hosting European matches. Like for example, going back to Saudi Arabia, they love having Barcelona versus Real Madrid in the Spanish Super Cup final. They also host Italian Super Cups as well. The US, they want more football here. They're going to gain so much momentum with the 2026 World Cup. India also want to have some matches. Australia as well. So I would say that it's not just about football. Yes, it's still about football, but this is not just about football. Like what's going to happen here in December is going to be something that might be something big in the future. And it's going to go past football. It's going to go beyond that. It's going to be about money, about marketing. All of this is about global reach. Leagues want to grow internationally because more fans equals more sponsors, more cash. And if it works, it works. They're not going to stop. And so you guys might think that, yeah, football is the most global sport in the world. Just wait until you see what the future does hold and how big this game could really get. I think that what we're witnessing here is the beginning of something really special. But that is it, right? That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.